Okay, let's talk about something I think we've all dealt with. You look in the mirror and, ugh, there it is again. A breakout, maybe in the exact same spot as last time.
Oh, definitely.
And you're thinking, seriously, I've been so good with my skincare. I'm drinking water. Like, what gives? It's so frustrating.
It really is. And, often your skin isn't just reacting to the creams and serums you put on it.
Right.
It's often reflecting what's happening inside your body.
Oh, okay.
And that's where this really interesting idea of face mapping comes into play. It's not some new fad, actually.
Oh.
No, its roots go way back. Think traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda.
Mm,
These ancient systems saw the body as totally interconnected.
makes sense.
Yeah, they believe that external signs, like skin issues, are, well, direct reflections of internal imbalances.
Yeah.
So instead of just seeing a pimple as, just a pimple,
Right. Just zap it and move on.
exactly, face mapping encourages you to see it as a potential signal, like a messenger from within your body.
A messenger. I like that framing. So, this deep dive then is all about learning to decode those signals.
Precisely. We're going to explore what breakouts in specific zones might actually mean for you
Okay.
and offer some, actionable insights, things you can maybe try both internally and externally.
Understanding our body's language, basically. Okay, I'm ready. Let's dive in. First up, the forehead. When your forehead decides to act up, what's it trying to tell us?
Okay, the forehead. So this area has a pretty direct link to your digestive system and also your nervous system.
Digestion and nervous system. Interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing how connected it all is. So if you're
Yeah.
getting persistent breakouts there, it could be signaling things like maybe poor gut health, sluggish digestion,
Mm-hmm.
or even high stress levels, maybe irregular sleep. Think about it, an imbalanced gut microbiome. That can trigger inflammation systemically.
Right, inflammation.
And that often shows up where you have active oil glands like the forehead. Also, things like processed foods, too much sugar, even just dehydration can play a part.
So, what can you do about it for the forehead?
Well, internally,
Mm.
you could consider upping your fiber intake. Think leafy greens, chia seeds, maybe some fermented veggies for gut health.
Okay.
Some people find drinking warm lemon water in the morning helps, maybe producing caffeine, making sure you get enough magnesium for the nervous system link.
And topically, for the skin itself.
Keep it simple. A gentle exfoliating cleanser, nothing too harsh, and a lightweight moisturizer usually works best there.
Got it. Okay, so digestion and stress for the forehead.
Yeah.
Now, what about that spot right between the eyebrows? That can be a really stubborn area for some people.
Yes. Between the brows, often called the glabella area,
Yeah.
breakouts right there. They often signal that your liver might need a bit of a break.
Your liver. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, your liver is your body's main detoxifier, right? So if it gets overloaded, it struggles to process everything efficiently.
And that shows up there.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
That overload can manifest as inflammation in that specific zone. Possible causes?
Hmm.
Maybe heavy alcohol consumption, perhaps too much dairy or fried, greasy foods.
Hmm.
Lack of sleep doesn't help either. And for some people, certain hormonal medications might be a factor.
So if you suspect it's the liver, what's the approach?
Well, diet-wise, maybe try cutting back on the alcohol, the dairy, those greasy foods for a bit. See if that helps.
Right.
You could also explore some liver-supporting things like dandelion tea, turmeric, milk thistle are often mentioned.
Okay.
And for the skin itself, maybe using a detox mask like a charcoal or clay mask once a week could help draw out impurities in that area.
It's incredible how specific these links can be. Okay, moving outwards from the center. Let's talk cheeks. Cheeks seem like a common breakout spot for lots of people. What's the story there?
Cheeks are interesting. They're primarily linked to your respiratory system.
Lungs.
Yeah, but they're also really susceptible to environmental factors. So while an internal link could be things like air quality, maybe pollution, or even food sensitivities, especially sugar and dairy,
Uh-huh.
external factors are huge GE here. Think about your phone screen touching your cheek.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
Totally. Or dirty pillowcases. Exposure to smoke, even secondhand smoke. These things can really compromise the skin barrier on your cheeks, leading to irritation, inflammation, breakouts.
Okay, so what are the action points for cheeks? Besides cleaning my phone constantly now.
Yes, definitely wipe that phone screen daily.
Uh-huh.
And wash your pillowcases frequently, maybe weekly. Simple hygiene makes a surprisingly big difference.
Right.
Consider an air purifier if you live in a city or suspect poor indoor air quality. Diet-wise, load up on antioxidants, berries, leafy greens, green tea. They help fight that environmental damage.
And for skincare on the cheeks?
Again, gentle is key. A non-comedogenic cleanser, meaning it won't clog pores, and maybe a gentle toner. You want to soothe, not strip. the skin there.
It's amazing how much basic hygiene impacts things. Okay, sticking with the center of the face, the nose, what signals might be showing up on our nose?
The nose area, interestingly, is often seen as reflecting your cardiovascular system.
Heart health.
Yeah, potentially. So persistent redness or breakouts there might sometimes point towards things like high blood pressure or maybe high cholesterol. Diet can influence it too spicy, or fatty foods can sometimes cause flushing or inflammation there.
Hmm.
But also, let's be real, the nose is just a zone prone to enlarged pores and oil buildup because it has a high concentration of oil glands.
Okay, so it could be internal or just oily nose problem.
Exactly. So internally, focusing on a heart-healthy diet is never a bad idea. Think omega-3s, whole grains, lots of leafy greens.
Good advice regardless.
Right. And topically, for the oiliness and pores, things like clay masks can help. BHAs, that's beta-hydroxy acids like salicylic acid, are excellent for getting into the pores and cleaning them out.
Salicylic acid, okay.
And maybe keep some blotting papers handy if you tend to get oily there during the day.
Makes sense. Okay, now for a zone that causes a lot of frustration, particularly for women, the chin and jawline, this area feels like it's always doing something, especially cyclically. What's the main driver here?
You're spot on. The chin and jawline are very, very often linked to hormonal fluctuations.
Knew it.
Yeah, particularly in women. It often ties in with your menstrual cycle, so you might see breakouts around PMS time. Conditions like PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, can also manifest with persistent breakouts here. Even just stress, which elevates cortisol, can throw hormones off balance.
Right, stress again.
Always. Hormonal birth control or just general hormonal imbalances can lead to excess oil production and inflammation, specifically in this lower face area.
So for these hormonal breakouts, what can help? It feels trickier.
It can be. One helpful thing is to start tracking your cycle and notice patterns. You might adjust your skincare slightly around ovulation or before your period.
Okay, like preemptive care.
Exactly. Supplement-wise, some people find things like spearmint tea helpful. There's some research on it for hormonal acne. Zinc and omega-3s are also often recommended for hormone balance.
Interesting, and topically.
Stick with a good spot treatment. Something with benzoyl peroxide or maybe sulfur can be effective for those deeper hormonal spots.
Right.
And really try to avoid picking here. This area is notoriously prone to leaving post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, those dark marks, or even scarring.
Oh, good reminder. Don't pick. Okay, last main zone, the temples and the hairline. This one always makes me wonder if it's my hair products.
It absolutely could be. So the temples, while traditionally linked sometimes to the gallbladder,
Gallbladder.
suggesting maybe issues with digesting fats, this zone is heavily influenced by hair care habits.
Okay, so maybe it is my shampoo.
Or conditioner, or styling products. Common culprits are product buildup, or specific ingredients in hair products that are comedogenic, meaning they clog pores.
Right.
Even just wearing tight headbands or hats frequently can trap sweat and oil there.
Okay, so check the ingredient lists on hair stuff. What else?
Definitely check those ingredients. Also, make sure you're cleansing thoroughly right up to the hairline. Double cleansing, especially if you wear makeup or SPF, is great for ensuring you remove everything.
Good tip.
And if you want to support that potential gallbladder link internally, focus on healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, and maybe consider digestive enzymes. If you suspect you have trouble breaking down fats, that can ease the burden.
Wow. Okay. This has been a lot of connections. It really shifts how you look at a breakout. So what does this all mean practically? Should you, totally overhaul your life based on one pimple on your chin?
Great question. And no, not necessarily. It's really important to see face mapping as a guide, not a definitive diagnosis.
Okay, a guide.
Yeah. The real key, the signal to pay attention to, is recurring breakouts. If you consistently break out on your forehead or always get chin acne before your period.
Ah, the patterns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you see a consistent pattern in the same area, that's when it's really worth looking deeper at your internal habits, your diet, your stress, beyond just your skincare products.
So it's about listening for the consistent messages, not just reacting to every little thing.
Precisely. Your skin is always communicating, but the patterns are usually where the most valuable information lies.
Okay. So if we are noticing patterns, what are some general sort of baseline things we can do to support healing from the inside out, regardless of where the breakouts are popping up?
Absolutely. There are foundational things that benefit everyone. Hydration is huge. Aim for, around 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Simple, but crucial.
Right.
Balancing your blood sugar is another big one. Focus on meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats to avoid those spikes and crashes that can trigger inflammation.
Makes sense.
Stress reduction, we keep coming back to it. Finding ways to manage stress, whether it's through better sleep, movement you enjoy, mindfulness, meditation, it really matters for skin.
Mm.
I've even seen clients benefit from simple things like adding ground flaxseed to their smoothie for fiber and hormone balance.
Small changes.
Yeah. We touch on cycle syncing skincare that can be a whole other deep dive if you find hormones are a major trigger. And topically, always lean towards gentle, barrier-repairing products. Calm the inflammation. Support your skin's natural defenses.
This whole conversation has really shifted my perspective. It's less about fighting against your skin
Exactly.
and more about listening to it. Breakouts aren't just random annoyances. They really can be messages.
They truly can be. Instead of, like you said, waging war on your skin, get curious. What might this signal mean?
Right.
Real transformation often happens when you align what you're doing externally with what your body is trying to communicate internally.
It makes you think. What other signals might our bodies be sending that we just haven't learned to decode yet?
That's the fascinating question, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always more to learn about listening to your own body.